EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports at the Open Championship, and we are at the home of golf, the old course at St. Andrews. And Frank, you know the old course is old when the new course here in St. Andrews is a century old.
But the old course is just a treat to play, or even play an Open Championship on that. The holes have changed in the way in which they're played over the years. For example, some of the short par fours are very drivable by today's great players, but the pot bunkers, how penal they are should you stray off line, they have to be avoided. Rich, I remember when I first played the old course, it was a Dunhill Cup. It was a team event. There was 3 players from each country around the world. And my teammates were Stuart Ginn and Bob Charles, who'd won the Open Championship. And I remember pestering Bob Charles all the way around the golf course, the old course. Where do I aim? Do I get away from a bunker? And at the time, I thought he was a bit of a curmudgeon, really, because the only thing he told me was not to hit it inside the TV tower on 17. And then I realized he gave me the greatest golf lesson I ever had, because he was telling me to play the golf course the way I felt I should. A lesson well learned. Play your own game.
Play with your instincts, especially at a place like the old course at St. Andrews, where you don't necessarily play by the book. I don't know that there is a book to get you around St. Andrews, except the best book of all, and that's the one of experience.
He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there.
Smoked that one.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That will be a great look at birdie. Getting set now over the putt. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Clean this up with a tap. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Frank, the 16th hole, famous for the principal's nose, and I can't help but think of Mrs. Hartman from 4th grade.
Well, I don't know.
She didn't like us.
I don't know how Mrs. Hartman would have played this hole, but she would have been wary of the out of bounds on the right. And that's why the general consensus is you not only avoid the principal's nose, but you hit the tee shot a little bit further left. It might lengthen the hole, but it is certainly the more prudent strategy.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Second shot, good look at the green. Excellent play right there. The approach giving him another good look from about 8 feet. Frank, the good players continue to play good golf, even if they're not winning or in the top 5.
Yeah, that position's starting to look a little brighter than what it was at the beginning of the day. Now in the top 25.
Really powering up here. Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Frank, this is really one of the coolest spots in the whole sport. When you tee off at 18, it's as if the entire town of St. Andrews is peering in and looking at you.
Yeah, you've started by the town at the little starters box, and then you've sort of gone all the way out. Now you're all the way on the back end, and it's almost like your job's been completed. But really, in the game of golf, you just started. That's an absolute beauty.
Chance to get it close here. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Starting to move now, Frank, on this leaderboard.
Certainly going all in the positive direction. He's in the middle of the pack, now top 15.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Oh, that's fine.
Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? can they still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day, but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. In for par. Now to the par 3-8. Frank, what's the best way to go at it?
Well, for these players, straight at the flag. This is the first par 3 you'll see, and a good chance to make 2 coming up ahead. But we do see a lot of long putts here with an errant tee shot.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Gave that the full treatment. Get up. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
And drops it in. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Good-looking shot right here. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Birdie putt coming up. The par on this hole yesterday. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Down to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated. Huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And, of course, that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left is called Hill. That's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, that birdie will help the cause. 2 rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present 3rd round coverage of the Open Championship. Welcome to the Open Championship, the oldest major in golf. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews combined with the Open Championship, it's bathed in history.
The golf course is magnificent. It just reeks of all the great players that have played the game. Pick your hero, whether it's a Bobby Jones, a Nicklaus, a Rory McIlroy, a Tiger Woods. All the greats have been there and played this marvelous course. It stood the test of time. And even the routing, the old 9 holes out, turn around and 9 holes in. It's marvelous.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Oh, I thought he had that. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. And he's putting for par now. Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Trying to get the round off to a good start. Frank, we're at the 2nd hole, and what's ahead?
Well, the ideal tee shot, just a little over that gorse bush in front of you, which is down the right side. That's the best angle in, but it also brings in a little bit of trouble. But if that pin is anywhere towards the middle of this double green, then really you want to be coming in from the right side. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up. Get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, Lisa.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, this is a good position to be in for a player. Making birdies, making some moves.
You're starting to get the momentum, too, for the finish.
On the tee box here at the 3rd now. Frank, all these holes look relatively straightforward. Can a golfer get lured in a kind of a false sense of security?
It's going for a little extra. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Good tee shot right in the short grass. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
Given the situation, Rich, things so tight at the top. Very, very good birdie.
That was huge right there. Still with a great chance to come away with this title. At the fourth hole now, and Frank, this one looks as though it might require a little bit of club selection off the tee. What are we looking at, partner?
Well, there is two ways to play the fourth off the tee. You can hit it down the right side, but it really starts to narrow up and it's slightly shorter. Most players go towards the middle of the golf course and try and get it on that plateau. But this, certainly, the first hard hole at St. Andrews.
Are you kidding me? Come on, you can't hit a ball that hard.
That is crushing it beyond all crushing. Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, boy, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. Looks good. Chance to make a birdie. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Locked in on the read and the speed. Bang for another birdie. 8 under par for the tournament. Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Well, you could, especially if you've got a little bit of breeze behind you, but it's quite wide in the driving area, except for those 3 bunkers on the right that just pop out. But if you can get it past those, this par 5, very reachable.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. But, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Safely aboard. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. Let's putt for birdie. Putting up some impressive numbers out here now. 9 under for the tournament. Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present final round coverage of the 144th Open Championship. Frank, when you come to the old course at St. Andrews for the Open Championship, you can just about hear the legends whispering to you. So many of the greats have made their mark right here.
It's the oldest, it's the best, and it's the one course that everybody, no matter where they're born, wants to play. Every great player has played St. Andrews, and that will be well in advance after our time, which is just something special. And when you see it and play it, you'll see the reason why.
What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in 1. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Wow, I thought he made that.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Hole number 11, the Eden, is really the finest medium-length one-shotter in all of golf, isn't it, Frank?
Well, this hole's been copied by many an architect for the reasons why it's normally very, very difficult to make a hole of this length, or should I say this short, so difficult. But they've managed to do that here at Eden with that Strath bunker in the front and the severe sloping on either side of that bunker.
Oh, that can really be brutal, can it?
It certainly does, and if you have any doubt there, you'll come unstuck at 11.
Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Frank, the charm of St. Andrews, the history of the old course, it all sort of comes into view here at the 12th, doesn't it?
Yeah, very pretty hole. Eden estuary to the right, obviously a nice view of the township of St. Andrews in the distance, but long hitters can just lick their chops and have a crack at this green. All they've got to do is worry about that little pop bunker short, but either into the breeze, or if you're not a long hitter, you've got to worry about those 4 bunkers that are well placed smack bang in the middle of this fairway.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch.
Should be safely on deck.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot, and getting ready for the putt. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course. And another good par.
Frank, the 14th is a big par 5, chance to make a big move, but also possibility of making a big number if you're not careful.
Yeah, you've got to be very aware of the out of bounds on the right side, even though it does move to the right. Ideal tee shot is down the right side that gets very close to that, because then that opens up the second shot and keeps that tee shot away from that crop of bunkers called the birdies. There's a big cross bunker up ahead that has to be avoided for the second shot. If you're long enough, you can reach this par 5 and 2, but this green with so many undulations, it is anything other than flat.
That approach shot is well to the left, but still, he's on the putting surface. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance. Well, that takes the strain off the next one.
Good lag putt right there. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Frank, one of the things I always loved about links golf is that you're not aiming at a flagstick or a tree, but sometimes you're aiming for a steeple in the distance, and this is a good example here at the 15th.
Yeah, the church steeple is the exact line off the tee. That gives you sort of the center of the fairway. Really, you don't have to be overly bold off the tee. This is about just finding a nice flat lie for that second shot. Because this is another difficult green that's well protected by just one little bunker that's in the front left that you don't think comes into play. But if your second shot doesn't land the right distance, more often than not, it just gets swallowed up by that.
Second shot, good look at the green. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Score that, a birdie. And now another par for the 16th, Frank, and another hole where precision off the tee is going to be paramount.
Yeah, the norm off the tee is really to avoid a series of 3 bunkers called the principal's nose. I've never really figured out why they're called that, but it's not the place to be, that's for sure. Stay short of those is the safe line, and then a little pop bunker once again in the front left of the screen called the wig. That's also to be avoided. Another dip when he goes after it like he is here. Just smokes it. Oh, I like that.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, this really is a remarkable turn of events considering that earlier we had pretty much written him off.
Well, we had, and for good reason, too. Was not playing well. It looked like the round was going to continue to go in that direction. But somehow, and believe me, I don't know how, he's just completely turned this round around.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, this is sort of bizarre. You're standing on the tee at the road hole, one of the most famous par fours in the sport, and you're aiming for a hotel?
Well, you're aiming over a series of letters that say the Old Course Hotel. If you can hit it exactly over that U, then you will be in the right place, which hopefully is down the middle of the fairway. You avoid that heather on the left. That bunker ahead, the road hole bunker. Remember David Duval? He got stuck in there. Years ago, Tommy Nakajima, he could hardly ever get that ball out, and in the end succumbed, I think, to double figures. So the hole has more than one way to trap you, so stay away from the road and the road hole.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Superb shot.
Yeah, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
There's 5 feet left. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, this is really one of the coolest spots in the whole sport. When you tee off at 18, it's as if the entire town of St. Andrews is peering in and looking at you.
Yeah, you've started by the town and the little starters box, and then you've sort of gone all the way out. Now you're all the way on the back end, and it's almost like your job's been completed. But really, in a game of golf, you just started.
Big full swing here. That's the way you want to finish up here at the 18th hole. Excellent drive, and gives himself a good chance to go after this hole location. Continuing his fine play, another beautiful approach shot to win the Open Championship. Just misses. He'd settle for par here. Par attempt here.
Really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
And that wraps up the final round. Just a great performance by our champion today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down in the books as an absolute classic. Fantastic play, not only in the course today, but all week long.